Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. This is live stream Sunday openers podcast. Week 13 was a weird one.
Weird indeed.
No thoughts?
Super weird. That's my only thought.
It was a weird day.
Yeah, I had some family in town, and then I also took a little nap too. So I missed parts of it, but I woke up and the Rams were winning, and that was nice.
Oh,
that was a good game. Though. I'm not 100% sure. I have made heads or tails of that game. There was defensive scores and long touchdowns and some goofiness. Sure. I feel like probably the Rams were the right side, and we got the cover there.
No, for sure. They're for sure. The
Arizona got like
it was closer,
12.
right? Yeah. It was closer for a lot of the game than it felt like it should have been. But because the Rams obviously blow it on the goal line. They had a couple of flubs in the first half. They should have had a bigger lead, but. They come away with the 10-point lead. And honestly, the way the two teams played, 10 points seems like a fair final margin of victory. Sean McVay continues his absolute domination of the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be an interesting matchup this week because two teams that played in the afternoon that both looked pretty damn good. The LA Rams and the New England Patriots are playing on Thursday Night Football this week. Short week. Patriots are staying in LA. What'd you make of the Patriots today? 45-0.
I mean, that was maybe the goofiest of the games. Like, especially, boy, if you had that first half total, like the blocked kick run back. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, again, somebody's good beat or lucky win, bad beat. I don't think that score was super predictive or actually indicative of how that game went. It is funny though. Like our biggest thing this last week was. What did you make the Chargers? Almost -3?
Yeah, pretty close.
I was very close to that number as well. Several other people were, and we said, no dice. We're not doing it. And then also we said the Rams bet. Like it was pretty much on market. We said we don't have an advantage in the numbers, but we're going to play this based on this. So like I don't know, week 13, like our intuition is in a good spot right now, I think.
Yeah, there was a bunch of other ones.
We have a good feel for our numbers, which makes me happy.
Yeah. That sounds.
Can you imagine betting on the Chargers? How bad you would have felt?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know which part of the game you would have lost hope. I think probably the first drive stalling out. Yeah, the kickoff. The attempted field goal, run back touchdown was really something. The punt return touchdown was really something. The Chargers have a special teams that is so impossibly bad. It's tough to really quantify. I bet you if you run like a statistical analysis on the special teams, this is like a -5 epsilon unit, -5 z-score sort of team out there. New England, it's 293 yards for New England today, 258 yards for the Chargers. And the Patriots have 45 points and the Chargers have 0.
Is that game still going?
It's over.
The Patriots still have the ball again? Maybe they'll kick a field goal here.
I don't think so. I think it's over. They're going to put that game out of its misery. The over is not going to get there. Really.
All right, what else? Are we working from top to bottom?
Let's go from top to bottom. And let's start with the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears, 34-30. I didn't watch a ton of this game this morning, but I will tell you this is the Lions' first game where they played with heart in probably about 18 months. They fought hard to come back in this game. They kind of returned the favor. Chicago got the big comeback against them in week 1. Detroit gets the big comeback in Chicago to level the season at 1-1. Doesn't really help Detroit out long term because they've lost too many to be in the playoff picture anyway. This pretty much puts Chicago out of their misery. Maybe Matt Nagy seat a little hotter.
5-1 they were. That was something. Like anyone who disagreed with 5
They're 5-8 now.
5-7.
5-7. Yeah, there's only 12 games played. Yep.
Yeah, his seat probably should be hot. I mean, they've had some flux at quarterback, but a lot of that was their own doing. It's not like it was injury based. I mean, they benched Trubisky, and then it got weird when Trubisky came in and got hurt. on that Wildcat play, and then they wanted to bring him back, couldn't. We saw some Tyler Bray there for a moment, but yeah, the offense just isn't getting it done. The play calling's shite, and they're kind of wasting a half-decent defense. It's not a terrible team. It's just a terribly managed team, terrible play calling, and
yeah. And I mean, I guess Detroit. I guess maybe one key takeaway here: Chicago's defense.
Detroit playing that well with the injuries they had. Like I was impressed by that.
Me too. And in fact, the fact that Bevel took over this offense and they scored 34 points against a good Chicago defense. I mean, this wasn't this was not a lame duck effort by the Chicago defense. Detroit just played well offensively. Bevel's calling the good plays, maybe. And so keep that in mind, I guess, as we come down the stretch. See if Bevel is really treating this like his, hey, I want another job. You should hire me sort of debut. But regardless, that was a surprising comeback win for the Detroit Lions. Little heart, little fight at long last. What did you had a teaser leg in on Miami, right?
Fired coaches are like, it's like 3-0 now after getting a new coach.
3-0 straight up, I think.
Straight up, baby.
All three dogs. We're all three. Yeah, dogs?
Miami is a teaser leg just against a really bad team. And even when they did move the ball, they proved to be a pretty bad team by turning it over on the wrong end of the field and several other mishaps. So Miami didn't even play that well. Like, I wasn't super impressed with them. They had some fumbles, and I mean, there was a turnover in a bad spot for them as well. So I don't want to say I was like lucky to get that one home, but I would have liked Miami to score a little more. I kind of saw that as, maybe like 27-10, but it did get there. The teaser leg got home. There were so many teaser legs. Honestly, really, the only one that didn't get home as a teaser leg would have been Vikes, if you wanted to treat the Vikes like you did Miami and Green Bay.
Oh, we'll get to that game in a second. The way that ended was pretty annoying. Okay, so real quick, I guess who did not make their team total today? The Cincinnati Bengals. 7 points, and it was all on that one play. Otherwise, that offense had nothing.
Was that a candidate? Yeah. I believe.
Yeah. We were talking. It was such a low number that we passed. It was like
it was like 16, man.
16 and a half or something. But yeah, they did not make that. They got 7 points. Brandon Allen knocked out of this game in the fourth quarter. He's probably not going to play. I'm not sure. There's a big downgrade for Ryan Finley this week. If he gets to start, Brandon Allen, Ryan Finley, or either one of them is your bottom three quarterback in the NFL.
It's the Pam Beasley. It's the same picture, GIF.
Did you think Tua was going to get benched at some point in that game?
I didn't think so, but at the same time, I was thinking back to that other game where he kind of did.
It was 7-6 at halftime. He was not playing great.
He was not playing great. So I don't know if it was maybe a coaching move to see how he reacts to a pep talk and a halftime adjustment talk and see how he does in the second half, because that's a feel you got to get for your quarterback too. So hopefully it was that. They did play better, but again, he's still a little rougher on the edges.
Yeah, he got that third quarter touchdown to Mike Gesicki that put Miami up 13-7, and it felt like they were never going to look back at that point. So maybe he played a little bit more comfortable down the stretch. But the Tua, era is off to a little bit of a. Yeah, this is off to a little bit of a rough start here. I think Miami's going to make it into the playoffs, and I think they're probably going to be a pretty solid candidate for a fade in round one. Especially if they keep, but they should get 2 of the reps. Like, that's the whole point of the season for them. Get 2 of the reps, find out if he's your guy. I don't know that we know the answer yet. But good win in the end. They needed to get that win one way or the other, because they're kind of in a tough contest now for these 3 wildcard spots in the AFC. It's going to be really close coming down the stretch here. A lot of teams kind of trading wins, losses week in, week out. So I don't really have a clear picture of what the entire AFC playoff picture is going to look like, even though there's only 4 weeks left. We're in the final quarter of the season. Oh, we forgot to do fourth quarter. Is that fourth quarter? Everybody, everybody's. Oh, no, that's fourth down in football.
Oh, okay. And the guys on the podium in like the 1960 Olympics.
That's all. That will also recognize them. Much more important than signaling fourth quarter.
Fourth down.
Much more important.
The wild card playoffs in the AFC are a mess.
It's crazy. Miami's clearly in the picture.
Vegas, Baltimore, New England. Cleveland, Miami. I think as of right now, Miami is in, and they would actually be above Indianapolis at the current point. But yeah. Pittsburgh, KC, Buffalo, Tennessee is your division winners as of right now. And then Cleveland, Miami, and Indy would be without even any tiebreakers because Vegas is 7-5.
Yeah. Okay. So just one last quick comment. Miami's defense is very good. Pass defense, especially. If you have a good offensive line and if you have a good running scheme, you're going to get yards on the ground against this Miami team. Cincinnati did not have that. And so it is, I still have some, there's going to be some bet against spots for Miami here as we come down the stretch, even as good as that defense is, pass defense specifically. What did you make of Houston, Indianapolis? Not sure if you saw, but there were 44 points scored in the first half of that game. The total was anywhere between 52.5 and 51. And so it pretty much looked over at halftime, but you won't believe this. There were 2 points scored in the second half of a game that was very competitive down to the last drive of the game. I really do not get what was going on with the scoring in this one. Did you have
I didn't catch a lot of this. Like I was going to check the end of this, be like, oh, it's a close game. We'll see who gets it done. But wow, 2.5 points. That's I was going to say, has that ever been done? But I know for a fact that it's been done because it's been done in the Super Bowl where there was a halftime score of 2-0. I think it was a Pittsburgh Super Bowl.
Wow, that is great trivia.
Super weird. It might have been against the Vikings. Colts, I guess.
Which one was it again?
After the injuries. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But in the long run, we ended up laying off the Texans, especially after the wide receiver news. So I guess kudos for them for still staying in it. I think Kiki had some yardage. Who's their leading receiver? Kuti had 141 yards. Look at him. 141 yards.
Really good. Well, he had one huge play that he took off the top right off the bat. And definitely kind of set the tone, because if you can beat Indianapolis over the top, that's doing something, that's good. That's a good that's a huge hit. And it was 24 points in the first half. And realistically, the field position jockeying in the second half, in the third quarter, was understandable, but it was surprising that there were no points scored in the fourth quarter.
It's one of those
the game deciding play was a Deshaun Watson fumble on a designed run in the red zone. Otherwise, he was pretty good today. Although I was surprised that he really wasn't able to do much in the second half of this one. No notable injuries that I caught, I guess. But Houston's offense is, even as good as Watson was in the first half of this game, I think Houston's offense minus Will Fuller is a downgrade. I think that whatever downgrade you assumed heading into this game, I think is a fair, going forward downgrade. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's that was a huge problem. And then, we did miss this, I guess. There was a concussion for Cooks. We'll see how that hashes out. Boy, maybe that's a reason why we had a second half with 2 points. But, if that's true, I don't think Risk It for a Biscuit's making that up. I'm saying if he is out for any noticeable time, doesn't pass concussion protocol this week, that's rough for Houston because they're oh my God, their team total is 23.5. That's pretty funny. He finished the game. Okay. So I guess going forward, we'll see. I don't know how that works. If you can get put back in by the independent neurologist, and then I'm sure they keep an eye on you during the week. So
you might still go into the protocol just on the basis.
That's right. I think they might just look at him a little during the week. So, he needs to play. Otherwise they're super cooked. Although it's not like they're having, after this, like the playoffs aren't really a thing. Like the best record possible is 8-8. It's just not happening. It was a tough schedule. They lost their stud. They've had some injuries. Just wasn't their year. So good on the Colts. Colts Titans going to come right down to it. They split the season series. They're both 8-4. Titans have the tiebreaker right now, but 4 games. So who would have thought that would have been one of the better races?
Yeah. Wow. That one. Yeah. Titans. We'll get to the Titans in a minute here, but your Minnesota Vikings continue to put up wins. They do it against terrible teams in ugly fashion, though. And the total on this one is wild. A week ago,
got middled.
50.5. I added more 51.5. One was a winner, one was a loser. So 51 points. And honestly, it was kind of, it didn't feel like it was ever going to had a chance in the first half.
Why didn't you play under 51.5?
Yeah, that would have been quite smart of me. You probably could have gotten under 50. Somebody got it got bet down. It got bet back down today. So somebody did put a pretty decent amount on the under on game day action there. I'll double check on all of that, but that one closed. Yeah, because that one closed. That one because we bet it up last Sunday. Not a lot of
wasn't a ton of action.
It closed at 51. Yeah. The penny was 51.
The game that I bet the over in, there's 3 missed extra points.
51.5 at there. Yeah. The missed extra points were crazy, especially in the first half. It didn't look like it had any chance of getting there in the first half. But sure enough, late explosion of scoring, 2 missed field goals at the end of regulation that were each one could have prevented overtime. And then in overtime, the Vikings drive the field and had about
I thought they were going to punch it in.
8 chances to punch it in. And honestly, it looked like they were doing the right thing because guess what? They are on the fringes of the playoffs. Margin of victory could end up being a deciding factor in terms of who gets into the playoffs in the NFC down there at the bottom. And so I was like, yes, this makes sense. Do not settle for a field goal. Try to get the touchdown. Win by 6. It may matter. And sure enough, they just can't get it in. They got a false start on the 1 yard line, and then they kick the field goal.
They brought the kicker out before the 2-minute warning because there is a 2-minute warning in overtime as well. So they brought the kicker out. They're going to kick, and then the 2-minute warning hits. So then they go back to the sideline, and then they run another play, or maybe even 2. It was very odd, but Vikings second half over for the second straight week was never in doubt. I really thought if you had Vikings in a teaser, if you had Vikings, at a different over number, that would have been something because they should have probably punched that in like one more time and Dalvin's probably in. But
you're right.
So not only the second straight week where the Vikings second half is just flies over, but the second straight week where Cousins has a turnover immediately for a touchdown on the other side, which is nice if you have totals.
Yeah, that's right. Again, a very weird game. Jacksonville continues to be live with Mike Glennon. He was playing pretty well in this game, I guess. Mike Glennon is pretty much he might be your league average replacement level quarterback. Do you know what I mean? Like he's exactly replacement level. If you're better than Mike Glennon, you're better than replacement level. If you're worse, you're worse.
You should have seen his numbers at the combine though.
He's got quite the neck.
Well, that's back when they did neck measurements.
It was quite impressive. That neck is something to behold.
He looks like he's 50.
Do you think Minnesota gets into the playoffs, by the way? Because right now they're 6-6. They're tied with the Arizona Cardinals, 1 game out of the wild card. I guess because their net points are -10 and Arizona Cardinals net points are 36. So I think they do lose the tiebreak on the margin of victory because I don't think they don't qualify for any of the tiebreakers. So that's why you got to go for the jugular. Vikings win by 6. Would have been something. Anyway, wouldn't have mattered either way for the. Did it matter for the teaser?
No, technically. So I'm looking at CBS's here. It says Minnesota is in the playoffs right now.
Oh, they are.
And
so they have a tiebreaker. They have a previous.
I don't know if they go. Yeah, the division record would be used, even though the 2 teams are not in the same division. Minnesota's 3-1 in their division, while Arizona's 2-2. So each has 2 more games to play, and then those games also conference record. I think is your next if there's no head-to-head. So it'll be interesting to see.
I see.
Here, actually, say. Yeah, the Vikings in the playoffs. That's funny. There's another fade team.
Wow. Well, are they? They always limp into the playoffs, and then they're a little feisty round 1. I don't think the Saints want to see them. No, thank you. There's probably a lot of teams that would rather not play the Vikings. Vikings can, they have wide receivers. They can pass on you. Yeah. Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Jets. Again, a weird one. So
that was the other side of my teaser leg.
So the Las Vegas Raiders.
On that throw. That was quite the throw.
It was a beautiful throw, especially his in the preceding down. He had a beautiful throw too. Aguilar's just not fast enough. I mean, where that ball landed, that was exactly where he wanted that ball to come down. But the final fourth down throw, touchdown, was great. Good work. It was awesome to see the Raiders come back in that spot.
I was just waiting for him to have it bounce off his chest because he was so open.
They make their team total on that number. They cover a bunch of live plays that I had that I was very I guess I'll just kind of quickly walk through here. They have an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter. It was downhill running for them, no problem. And then they just got sloppy as hell. They give up a touchdown drive, a 2-point conversion. The 2-point conversion, by the way, they originally stopped it. Did you see? And the guy almost ran it back.
Yeah.
But there was a really, really, really questionable call.
That
entire drive,
he mangled him.
That entire drive, I think I saw like some pretty aggressive holds by the Jets offensive line, and they were just like, "Nah, we'll give him a shot here, give him a shot." Well, they more than had a shot. In fact, they had a lead, and it was a big enough lead that the Raiders could not settle for just a field goal attempt. They had to go for a touchdown. And on their first, they were driving, they were eating clock. They looked like they were going to get in no problem. Fourth down. Incomplete pass into the end zone. No defensive pass interference called. That was fine, I guess. Although they had a touchdown that got overturned by a hold. Does that ring a bell? There was offsetting penalties, maybe. Anyway, they don't get the touchdown. It's like, wow, there go the Raiders. Would have affected survivor pools all over the world. Would have affected moneyline parlays all over the world. Would have affected teaser legs in a negative way for the Raiders. But no. The Jets run 2 plays, timeout. Third down, they run it. Did you see the guy wind the clock on that?
Yeah.
When he got pretty clearly pushed out of bounds? What was your gut reaction when you saw the referee wind the clock?
I'm just like, I guess this. I'd called it a loss after the fourth down. They didn't get the previous drive. I'm like, this is done. They're gonna get the ball back in like 30 seconds, no timeout. It's like 70 yards to go. So I guess really. People will argue this, and we've said this, players don't tank. Players don't tank because they have contracts, they have incentives. They know playing half-assed is how you get hurt, how you look foolish, how you end up out of this league.
Great point.
Coaches can tank, and I think maybe it was I don't think it was like a true tank, but I think it was like a Greg Williams, like, we're 0-11. I'm either going to put this guy in his ass or we're going to lose the game. And either way, it doesn't matter. So like call a zero blitz. Like legitimately, it was a zero blitz, no safeties over the top. Like if you leave one safety back there, he probably doesn't get into the end zone.
That's possible.
They might have stopped him early.
It's definitely more of a better chance at a pass defense. Absolutely.
Yeah, just the absolute zero blitz was really something to see. And that's what happens when it doesn't get home. It goes badly for the secondary because everybody's in man coverage, and Ruggs is the fastest person on the planet. So it is.
He's awesomely fast. Yeah,
and it's funny too that I've had some bad beats. I've had some games not go my way, but it's funny the Vikings total. I needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to push it to overtime to get it.
Yes.
And even then, I was like, this might not go. This might be a tie. Yeah. I was thinking of losing that. And then I needed that touchdown to get the teaser leg there. So nothing comes easy. At this time of year, everything's tough.
That's right. A lot of coin flipping going on, I think, is really the moral of the story.
I am glad getting a good number proved important.
Interesting, man. That was the last of the afternoon. Oh, no, there were 2 more. New Orleans.
Didn't catch much of this.
New Orleans beats Atlanta 21-16. It was a really uneven game. New Orleans continues to just do this, where they do just enough in the absence of Drew Brees to keep winning games. They're well coached. They didn't make a ton of mistakes in this one. Atlanta's red zone futility continues to be among the most amazing things going. Like they just cannot get it done in the red zone. It's wildly frustrating. I didn't really get a feel that there was a right side here. I played the over. It went under. That felt annoying because there were a lot of times when this game was close to like really breaking out in terms of scoring, and it just never happened. Neither team was especially efficient, and New Orleans can't afford to lose, because if they do, the difference for them in terms of winning the NFC, if they have the 1 seed and it goes through New Orleans versus conceding the 1 seed to the likes of the Packers or the Seahawks. Well, I guess the Seahawks are probably not going to even have a chance. The Rams maybe get the West at this point. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, New Orleans is 10-2. This is shades of last year where it's like, oh man, what's going to happen with Breeze out for multiple weeks? And then they just don't lose. And Teddy wins every fucking game.
Like, dude, looking at my numbers. Yeah.
And granted, I said this, and this morning when I talked to Austin, we said, like, when you're running numbers or historical data, you should probably throw that Denver game out. Not just of like the New Orleans Saints
100%,
season,
yes.
but of just of this
of the football game. Of a football game. Yeah.
Of eternity. Like that wasn't
an NFL game. Yeah.
But again,
I agree.
It's just the Saints. They have this. They use all their luck in the regular season, so they have none left in the postseason. But 3-0 with Taysom and 2 divisional wins. They're 8-1 in conference. They are looking at. They have one more game against Carolina to go 6-0 in the division. I mean,
they're probably going to go. I guess they're going to play the Chiefs at one point, which is tough because, again, if they can't afford to lose any ground, I guess your 1 seed in the NFC is going to be either New Orleans or Green Bay. Would you agree? I'm looking right now at my updated numbers, considering how this goes from here in. If one of those two is the 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Okay, and if you lose to KC, that does knock you down a peg because you have a head-to-head tiebreak loss against Green Bay. So you cannot finish with the same record as Green Bay, or else they're the 1 and you're the 2.
Yep, that was a fun game. If you remember that from way back in September.
Oh yeah, it was. But 33-30. No, yeah, it just nobody could stop anyone. That was a great fun game. And then Michael Thomas didn't even play in that game. FYI. So yeah, Atlanta just they get it done. Atlanta just gets it done, man. One last tough contest on their schedule against the Chiefs, and then they should win their other 3 in these. They should finish 3-1 here. I have not heard confirmation that Drew Brees will be back next week, but I'm expecting him to be back based on how the injury was reported. They basically were like, we'll check him out. Yay or nay? Nay. Okay, well then we're going to put you on IR for 3 weeks and let you recover, and we'll bring you back the last 4 weeks of the season. That was kind of the impression I got at the time. So I do think he'll play this next upcoming game because I think he wants to get a start under his belt and kind of get the rust out before you play Kansas City. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's tough to say how important the Kansas City game is, but Green Bay could run the table here. What did he say a couple years? Relax. Just got to relax and then run the table.
Oh, yeah.
But Green Bay's toughest game is probably Tennessee. They have Tennessee, Carolina, Detroit, and Chicago. Or maybe not Detroit. That sounds right.
They don't match up well against Tennessee.
Yeah, they don't.
Really,
That's their tough game. They don't. I kind of see it hashing out where both teams go 3-1. Saints take the 1 seed, but Green Bay could run this and take the 1 seed away, which be, as I kind of went over earlier this morning, it doesn't look like we're going to the contingency plan, and there will be a bye for the 1 seed, which is massive now that there's no bye for the 2 seed. It's just that much more important. So I think regardless, you want the 1 seed bye or no bye because you don't want to have to play the NFC Championship game in Lambeau at the end of January. If you're Drew Brees, if you're trotting out 42-year-old Drew Brees, I don't want to play that at Green Bay. Let's play that in the Dome. I don't know. We'll get to Green Bay. When we get to Green Bay, I have a question for you about futures, just given what we've talked about now, thinking about that price for the NFC. Last of the morning games, Cleveland, truck stick, Tennessee. Didn't
see this coming.
No, God, no.
Did not see this coming.
Cleveland hasn't played a normal game in a month because of all the weather.
Yes.
Baker's inaccurate at times. Like he has guys running great routes, getting great separation, getting wide open, and he's missing them. It's like and I said, like the Browns should score more. They should be better in the red zone. He just has to hit these guys, and then all of a sudden everything clicks all at once.
Bang.
And somehow I didn't even catch the end. Somehow it ended up being a 1-score game in the end, which is kind of amazing.
Tennessee, I think, scored the last 14 points, but it was all garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
All garbage time. So I think we specifically said on the pod this is sort of a make or break game for Baker, right? Because he was going up against a team that absolutely could not generate a pass rush. So you're going to have an absolutely optimal pocket to operate in. You're going up against a weak pass defense with missing some pieces. It's now or never for Baker. And he proved he has it. Like he can compete at that level against a team like this. And, so I think we've learned a lot about Cleveland this year, about Baker Mayfield, about when they're a bet on and when they're a bet against. And it's pretty likely that they are a bet against next week against the Ravens. Although not a great situation for the Ravens playing on Tuesday and then to Sunday. That's a Monday. Excuse me. That's a Monday nighter. Monday Night Football is Balto, Cleveland. In fact, now we go from good Baker with no pass rush and a nice big fat lead and his offensive line playing great. Well, now you go into prime time and you go up against the Baltimore Ravens, who blitz like animals, who can cover your wide receivers easily. You can probably you're going to get some on the ground against the Ravens, but if Baker Mayfield walks into that game thinking he's going to prove to the world how great he is, that could go sideways. Interested to see if Baltimore can stay healthy in this Dallas game on Thursday. We'll wait. We're going to have to wait a whole long time to bet this game.
I'm kind of hoping they don't have all their players back for the Dallas game, and they kind of play, just an ugly, crappy game, get an ugly win, and they can be a little depleted or deflated in the market, because that would be a bet on spot. Because like you said, Baker under the bright lights against, a guy who's, what's his third year now?
Yes.
So, Wink Martindale's seen him 5 times already.
That's true.
He's more than happy to just get good. He loves to get blitz happy, and not just like blitz happy, but creative blitzes, a lot of misdirection. Like, it's a scary defense to play against, especially for someone who's not great under pressure. And the O line is so middle of the pack.
Yes,
I would say somewhere in there. They got help
for the Ravens. Who?
Cleveland.
Cleveland's offensive line is top 10.
They've kind of at the beginning of the year I had them there, but they've kind of suffered a couple injuries. The guards,
they're
Teller back. All right, I'll give it to you. With Teller back,
Teller's back. Conklin is in and out because of the injury, but I think overall that unit is top 10. I think overall that unit is top 10, but I don't know that matters against what the Ravens like to do in terms of generating pressure. Sure as hell didn't matter week 1. But we owe it to people to give. We owe it to the listeners. We're going to give you a full handicap of Ravens Cowboys before we get into the openers, probably. So we'll hold your thoughts on Ravens, I guess, for the time being.
Sure.
Tennessee, don't know where we go from here. Boy, did that one hurt their chances of winning the AFC South. Huge swing getting your clock cleaned by Cleveland and Indianapolis, holding on for dear life against Houston there. But Tennessee can't play with the lead. Can't play from behind well. They cannot play from behind well. We have now seen this a bunch of times this season. If you generate a lead on Tennessee, they are in trouble. And if they're calling stupid run plays early and they don't work, then they're going to be behind because their defense can't stop anyone, especially early in the game. Seattle amazingly loses to Colt McCoy.
What a game.
What the hell? This was 5-0 at halftime. Don't remember seeing one of those. But 5-0 at halftime. And especially, did you see this blocked punt, by the way?
Yeah.
So I think 6 guys had a chance to recover that for a touchdown, and somehow it went out of bounds.
That was maddening. It reminds me that I think it was Giants football team that punt or that fumble, they got squirted out like 7 times and down the sideline, just kept going. Like, those are so annoying. Just somebody grab this, please.
So Seattle losing this game is mind-blowing on a million levels. This really hurts their chances of winning the NFC South. I can't believe that this is the game that they dropped. The Giants now are very realistically in the hunt for that NFC East title. Cowboys probably done, especially after I think they lose to the Ravens. Eagles probably done. And Washington football team, who knows how badly they get beat by Pittsburgh. But Giants are probably going to be in the playoff, specifically in the 4 seed with the home playoff game tomorrow when we look at sort of the overall playoff picture. Number one, do you think they hold it? They have a tough schedule going down the stretch. Number two, what in the hell happened to Seattle today?
I'm done making predictions about who wins the NFC East. I've been wrong. I've been wrong so many times. It's probably between them and Washington, but Washington's probably going to get their shit pushed in. So be interesting. If they can come up with some game plan to take down the Steelers, that would be massive. It's awful tough, but I guess before these games started, you would have said it's awful tough to see Seattle falling today. Just didn't have enough at the end. I don't know. I didn't watch a ton of this one. I want to go back and look at some of the splits, some of the play sequencing, seeing if they were really conservative, maybe on first downs or second and longs, things like that. If they're regressing to how they used to play back before the let Russ cook era began. And because this is a team that they're not good when they do that. No teams are good when they're running good second and long and pulling some of this shit that they used to do, just turning into a team that's not taking advantage of the fact that they have a very good quarterback, 2 very good receivers. I think Lockett was dinged up a little today. Have to check in on that. But if you can play down to a team, but if you play down that hard, you got to have something at the end. And it just didn't happen. I don't know. So Colt McCoy, undefeated.
Unbelievable. You know why Seattle lost? I just did the math. 27 completions, 22 rush attempts. So they only hit 49. They missed the magic number of 50 by 1. They had just had one more play, they would have won the game.
Probably, especially if it was a touchdown.
Did you get involved live at all? When Seattle was down? Because no, I didn't want anything to do with it either. I also wasn't watching it especially closely, but I mean, in the back of your head, you were like, Seattle will figure out how to win, right? Or in the back of your head, you were like, Seattle might figure out how to lose. That was more of the lose. Yeah.
It was something.
They did figure out how to lose.
That's one I'm going to be poking into. But I feel good about my, I bet on the Rams to win the West after they lost a game that we bet against them.
That's true.
And everything is kind of actually, this is a gift. I wish I had put a lot more down on that, but I have a small bet on the Rams to win the West. That's looking pretty solid right now. I think they'll get it done. And every week I say this. I don't know why I don't think of the Rams as a higher echelon team, because they are. They're absolutely in the conversation with the Packers and the Saints. They might not have the quarterback that Green Bay has, or some of the playmaking receivers that you have in New Orleans, but I think they have the best coach of the 3. And he makes, you make chicken salad when you're given chicken shit. And he makes it every week. He can't beat Shanahan. But when he's faced with these other coaches, he can out-coach people, he can out-scheme people, and they do have a nasty defense at times. So the Stars and Scrubs thing's still working. And this is a team that can be dangerous in the playoffs.
You know what else is nice for you in that Rams ticket? They got one more game against the Cardinals. So
we'll probably bet them there too.
Another double-digit win to pad that one for you.
See what that number is.
Okay, so
we gotta get to get to this week yet.
Yeah, I don't have much. We said it all with the Rams. We said it all with the Rams and Cardinals. Said it all with the New England and the Chargers. Philadelphia, Green Bay. Good team. Green Bay did not play their best game. They did not play their best early, but they get it done. Jalen Hurts in for relief for the beleaguered Carson Wentz. Do you think that is permanent?
I don't know, man, because they lied to us last week.
Is that a semi-permi?
Hopefully it's permanent. I hope so, but it doesn't seem like it, because they lied to us last week and felt like a desperation move this week. They were actually inside the number, and he looked okay. He just needs more reps for the first team. If I were them, it would be a permanent. But boy, it's a hard pill to swallow when you're paying $30 million to the other guy.
Yeah,
it's super
big. It's a big dollar sign. Do not think that contract is get outable.
GM and it's tricky behind the scenes stuff. I'm sure. Food Snob wants to know what I'm drinking. Yeah, might add some Wendy's for supper. It's big nader season.
Native advertising at its finest here. No idea what Philly does from here. They're going to get. They are going to be huge dogs again this week, right? They're going up against the world.
This is a good point. He was playing from way behind. Although, You still have to be accurate.
Hey, you know what? Appy makes a great point because the Packers preventee that made Mitch Trubisky look like a god. So, yeah,
it made Philip Rivers look good.
Made Philip Rivers look good. Made him look like a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, future HOFer. So, only thing I guess Rams. So the Rams and Seahawks fully did flip today. Rams are now the 3 seed. Seahawks slide to the 5. So that would send to the Seahawks to the New York Giants if the playoffs started today.
Yeah.
Rematch of that game would be one of the wild card games. How unexcited will you be to watch that one, let alone handicap that one? Seattle is 7-point favorites on the road at the Giants. The total is 45. Bet the game, Andy. What do you do? It's probably gonna be Danny Dimes back.
Yeah, you bet some props.
Okay.
You just play props.
I really don't want to see that game again.
No, I want no part of that.
I can tell you that much. Buccaneers currently in the 6th seed. We would see Rams Bucks again. Also don't want to see that. Vikings are currently in the 7th seed. We would see Packers Vikings again.
That's people like that. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
They didn't beat him the second time.
I know. That's the funny part. All right. Anything else before we get to this week? Or do you want to touch on the Monday night games quick?
No. Oh, yeah. Let's recap. I have not bet them, although at the current number, I think there's value on Pittsburgh. I don't understand why this came across 7 for you.
Can't make sense of this either. I can get a 6.5. I can get a 6.5 plus 100 right now.
That's fine. If you want to bet it, make a bet. That's you're looking for a bet on a Monday. That's not the worst bet on the board.
I feel like I almost have to bet that. The Big Ben's questionable. Big Ben's playing. He does this. He hates practice. Like that was the joke about why he looked bad on a Wednesday, because he hasn't played on a Wednesday all year. He takes those days off.
That's good.
He doesn't like.
So they went out and they made him throw the ball 50 times. What was that? What was the game plan there?
I don't know. I was pissed about that because I had a prop.
That was a terrible game plan. Terrible game plan. Okay. I didn't bet the game either, but 6.5 is not very respectful of the fair number for Pittsburgh, and probably if Pittsburgh doesn't play 2 super sloppy games in a row, they got laid into after that performance. They're going to play a little harder, I think, against the Washington football team. And you know what else? How unexcited are you to watch the Pittsburgh pass rush go after Alex Smith in this game?
I'd hate to be a real shame. Something happened to that leg.
I do not want to see that. The nightcap, I also did not make a bet. Buffalo and San Francisco. San Francisco is chalk. What? This has come across from Buffalo -3. This has come across from Buffalo -3 to Buffalo +1. So if conceivable, you could see a 1.5. No, it's probably not going to go to 1.5. But man, you could potentially tease Buffalo out to a touchdown, maybe past it.
I just bet the Steelers. I make it 10. I don't know how I don't bet this again. If Ben doesn't play, shame on me, and I'll find my way out of it live. Or just
they're going to start Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph.
They better not. He's fine. He'll play.
Yikes!
Those kids would die.
Okay.
I get my first bet for next week, and it's for this week.
Yeah. What about Dallas, Baltimore? Shouldn't this be 10 also? I'm not going to bet it, but
no,
this is a disastrous matchup for Dallas. Dallas can't get off the ground, can't stop the run. There's going to be a lot of running in this game.
I would lean towards the under because Dallas has had some success on offense, but it's been some bad secondaries, bad defenses in general. Like they're not going to be able to have
no Zach Martin.
Success, I would think. Yeah, that doesn't help. So I would think Dallas, a lot of 3-and-outs, and Baltimore kind of plays it slow, runs the ball, just long sustained drives.
You think
I'm fine with an under if you had to bet
does
it.
Baltimore have a good game plan for Andy Dalton?
Probably. Yeah. I get the joke now. Yeah. They've seen him. I talked about Wink Martindale.
You can only hope to contain him.
That's true.
All right. So heading into week 14 then, final quarter of the season. We are in the fourth quarter. I was lackluster about this week of games on our podcast last week. My feelings haven't appreciably changed. What are your thoughts on as we head into week 14 here? What's the game of the week for you?
It does get tougher as you go down the stretch. Like we have somebody in one of our chats who just says like, don't bet the NFL this late. Like the numbers are figured out, you guys.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Bet college. Don't do this to yourselves.
Well, college is equally figured out at this point.
It's tough, but there's way more informational stuff that's not as fast. True. Like that's kind of where you can have an advantage in college. But yeah, let's see. Game of the week here is
Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Even though like New England's not that good,
they sure as hell looked like world beaters today.
Yeah, Buffalo Pittsburgh. I think it's my game of the week.
Okay, so that's
a good Sunday night game.
The 45 that is going to be good. The 45-0 margin was not fair, but you get a concentrated week of practice staying on the West Coast. The New England Patriots are staying at UCLA, preparing this week for the Rams. I guess as I look at this matchup at first blush, I don't love the Jared Goff going up against Bill Belichick's defense. We saw that a couple years ago. It was pretty notably poor performance. And the Patriots defense, I couldn't tell if Jackson got hurt today enough he would miss that game. Gilmore's playing well again. They were getting pressure pretty regularly today against Justin Herbert. I don't know that the Rams are going to look especially anywhere close to as good as they look today against the Cardinals. My gut intuition is to take the points here at 6.5. Fair price for me is closer to 4.5. I don't know that I'm going to play this yet. Anything make you want to fade the Rams here?
No, I make it like 6. So I'm fine with that. I haven't given New England an upgrade yet. I probably will, but I don't know that I won't give the Rams an upgrade as well. Probably not. I think the Rams are getting towards the top of their range for me, so I'll probably be leaving that alone. You want me? Should we just do the?
Wait a second.
You want me to run through them again like we did last week, and you can just give me some thoughts? Or what do you?
I think under 45.5 might be playable. Did you get a good initial read on that?
It feels right. I bet it's bet down though. I don't know. There were some things that were working on that passing offense for New England today at certain points.
Yeah, no. But it was a very, very, I mean, they got production out of the punt returner, Olszewicz.
That didn't hurt. Oh yeah, obviously they got 2 defensive special teams touchdowns, but
a lot. Yeah, some bunch of Cam's other passes really were not. They didn't have zip. He's, I don't know that you're going to get the same production against the pass defense for the Rams, which is playing really well, really, really well.
Yeah. Although it's still Bill. Like we made the case for it because of the coaching mismatch. We're staying off it. This week it's coaching. They're all near peers. Like McVay's top 5 guy almost, if not. So it is in LA. That number's pretty tight for me, actually.
The Rams have to travel to LA.
Yeah.
Patriots are already there.
I know, that's kind of the F part. That is goofy. It's almost like all those East Coast trips that, or was this a requested one? Did we go over that?
Yeah. This was requested. Yeah, this was specifically, and the Rams were pissed because they gave them the Thursday. And they were like, "What the hell? What the hell, guys?" I guess, did we get our answer to how much is coaching worth? It's worth 45 points.
Yeah, maybe not that much. Preston has to be feeling pretty fucking smug about his article. I'm gonna have to preach about that. Like, talk about just walking into the game script going perfect for your silly little. How much is something worth?
How much is coaching worth? 48
points. Yes,
there was 3 points of the spread plus another 45.
Yeah. All right. Sunday. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just
go
gonna hit
rip.
you
Rip them.
Green Bay is 8.5 point favorites on the road, heading to the Motor City. Man. Total of 55. That total
points, but I don't know if I'm gonna play them.
It's high, but I don't know if I want to get in the way of things right now. The way these offenses are going, especially if Detroit gets some pieces back, probably too many points as well. Green Bay. Yeah. Like, I would lean towards Detroit here. This is I make it. Oh my God, I make it a lot closer than that.
I do too. This is an enormous spread.
This is dumb. I make it like 6.5.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of 7 too. But this is, I mean, do you take these points?
I'm gonna wait. The more I'm thinking about it, I want to hear some nice things about Detroit's defense or injuries.
It's not going to go across 7, probably.
No, I don't.
There's not going to be enough early Detroit money that this moves across 7. Although it has moved.
We might not get the best of the number, right, but yeah, we're not going to get the best of the number. But I'm going to wait for some injury stuff. Total's 55. That's probably a bit high, but scary for me. Tennessee 7 point, same kind of game, exact same thing. Tennessee the 7 point favorite
on the road.
On the road, heading to Duval County, Florida.
With 54 total.
That's probably
take the points. I think it's too many points. It's a terrible team. It's too many points. Exact same game, exact same story. Deja vu. This is deja vu. Yeah. No, both. I guess hold off on that one too. There's no real.
So I have a non. I kind of split this out where in Back to the Future 2 where he draws on the chalkboard to explain that there's an alternate 1985.
Oh yeah.
I've done this with Jacksonville where I've like left my number and then I have a Glennon number, and like if this is Minshew Luton, I would make this like 8.5. But my Glennon number is like that much better on offense that
he's a replacement level quarterback. 0 should be your number should be 0. Yeah, your number should be not a downgrade, not an upgrade.
God, speaking of replacement level quarterbacks. Another road favorite. Road favorite all the way down. I'm trying to look for the next one. Dallas 3.5 over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Andy Dalton's revenge.
It is a revenge game. That it does need to be. I'm glad you said that. I don't have a total up for this yet. Maybe I have to refresh.
Yeah, it's because Dallas doesn't play till Tuesday.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Dallas. Yeah, I'm not super excited about getting involved with this with a team that is about to get beat up by a tough defense. Like, what do you? I'm gonna have to look when I make this quick.
Yeah, no opinion. I'm not gonna bet that game.
I make Dallas minus.
Keep moving down.
-3. Yuck. All right, so next one is.
I'm not betting it. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Before
another road
favorite.
Yep. Wow.
Cardinals over the Giants. Favorite? Now that's interesting. Cardinals under the key number of 3.
Yeah.
2.5 point favorite heading to the Meadowlands.
Okay.
Cardinals coming off. That was in LA today, right? Or
it was that in Glendale? It was in Arizona.
Okay. So for some reason I thought it was a second straight road game, but it's not. So heading to the East Coast to play an early game for a West Coast team who's had some struggles. Probably getting Larry back from Ronaland. What do you make this?
I think number? Arizona is the side.
I make this pert near 5.
Dimes maybe back.
Yeah, Colt McCoy's not good.
I think Dimes is probably coming back. I think Dimes is probably coming back.
I kind of want to bet this before it crosses 3.
You think it's going to go across 3? I do too. I think it's going to move in that direction.
What do you make this? If Daniel Jones is in, what do you make this number? Because I make it like 5.
I'm closer to 4. I'm not as high on the Cardinals, I guess. But still, so I'm over 3. I'm over 3. That's the important part. Okay, so the Giants defense, real quick, the Giants defense has been playing last couple. Okay, but that's fine. I had no No argument from me. But the Giants defense has been playing up of late. They played up today. And they have a couple good players, obviously. One of the top cornerback performances of the year from Bradbury for the Giants so far this season. He's playing great. He can lock down Hopkins, maybe. That doesn't worry you?
He can, but they don't have the same kind of pieces. Like, that was part of my handicap today was Ramsey locking down Hopkins and then the pass rush. But the Giants don't have that sort of
part two. They don't have part two.
They don't have part two. You need it's a marriage of pass rush and coverage, and they just don't have Aaron Donald on their team. I guess that goes without saying.
Yes,
that's true.
Great point. They do not have an Aaron Donald. They don't even have an approximation of an Aaron Donald. So yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. No disagreement there. This has a lot of whiffs of Arizona gets right because they're a very good team. They just have been playing a very tough little stretch of their schedule. They had to play. Who did they play? Sorry, I'm trying to pick up this portion. I mean, they were going to lose to the Rams no matter what. That's just kind of that's just kind
free.
of actually.
That was your free space and bingo. Like just bet that game.
Arizona went 5-2, beating the Seattle Seahawks at home in overtime, heading into their bye week, and they were on top of the world. They come out of their bye, they lose to the Dolphins. They beat the Bills at home, thanks to a Hail Mary. Then they go at the Seahawks. They get beat. They go at the Patriots. They get beat. They come home for the Rams. They get beat. That is now 4 out of their last 5 they have lost. And the one they won was on Hail Mary.
Yeah.
They should have been 5 out of 5. But my numbers still say they're the better team.
Yep. No, I'm fine betting this one.
Okay. All right. Arizona gets right against the Giants. That sounds good.
All right. We have a road favorite. In Houston.
Is this a gag?
Smallest road favorite.
Is this a gag?
They're screwing with us. Houston is favored over the Bears, total of 46. This would be an under.
Man, oh man. No. You know what?
Houston's defense.
I think I've had my fill. I had Thanksgiving leftovers too late, and I'm full of Houston under. I'm done. I'm good. Don't need any more of that. Deshaun Watson going up against this Bears defense. Not perfect matchup for him. I don't know. I can see an under case, but I also I'm not going to bet this.
It's under nothing, and for me, that is nothing.
Okay.
So, no, it's not going to be good for either offense. Like it's strength on strength on both sides. So it'll be interesting. And then in the Bears offense's case, weakness on weakness. So it's an under nothing for me. I guess if you want to sweat out needing points from the Bears, you could take that over. Such is life. Here's a big total. And finally, a home favorite, Tampa Bay, 6.5 over the Vikings. That seems like a pretty fair number there. I'm going to punch that one in. I make it minus 6.8. So
I'm way closer than that between those two teams.
Really?
Yeah. I'm at about 3.5.
Well, then it sounds like you're interested in some Minnesota Vikings on the road.
Is it worth playing is the question, I guess. What happened with what did you think happened with Minnesota today? Why didn't they look as good against the Jacksonville defense that really, really sucks?
I mean, some of it is play calling and execution, but I mean, I honestly can't answer. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this team sometimes. And then Cousins looks really good at certain points, and then they just have these incredible turnovers that turn into points. And it's always right in the second half. Yeah, and here's the point. This was an issue all day. They have not sunk any money into this offensive line. They haven't sunk any money. They haven't sunk any draft capital.
They cut Pat Elflein.
Yeah, they're not so excited about let's put the rest of this offense together and get a good running back, 2 good receivers, and then just not worry about the offensive line at all. And you say Cousins is bad under pressure. Everyone's bad under pressure, man. It's not fun. Like you don't want to see some guy running at you that's trying to hurt you. So he's not great under pressure. I should go look up his splits, but rough look. I'm right on market. I don't want any part of this. Totals. Those totals are starting to tick up. Minnesota against a actual tougher defense this time. That's a tough ask to get them.
That's a big number. Yeah.
To get them.
That's a big number. Yeah.
So it'd be like 26. You'd be needing like 23 points out of Minnesota. A tough ask against a good defense.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I'm going to think about that one some more. Because honestly, like Minnesota's playing like last 4 weeks, Minnesota's playing like a wet team.
Garbage time Cousins.
Yeah.
That's where you get your 6.5.
Last 4 weeks, Minnesota's been playing like 7-9 team, 8-8 team. It's 9-7 team. What would you say?
7-9.
And over the last few weeks, Tampa Bay's been playing like 9-7 team.
It's tough. It's tough to base it because of the opponent's strength has been way, way different.
Yeah, like sure, that's true.
That's super tricky.
You think 9-7 team though? That's being generous.
10, I'm going to give them 10-6. Tough schedule, way tougher schedule. Go compare those.
They're very, very, no doubt. I just mean like the quality of the team, just in general, because this is almost a touchdown difference. That's like a good team is playing a bad team.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Tampa Bay is really hard to get a read on. They have some absolute stinkers, and then they can go out and like the game they dropped like 40 points. I'm trying to think who that was. They were like 4 for 8 in the red zone, and still put up 40 points. Like they're a team that can absolutely go. Right. They have so many offensive weapons. Right. The Vikings had 2 more injuries on their defense today.
It was against the Panthers.
I want no part of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
A couple more here before we.
Couple more road favorites. We got some more road.
Oh yeah, we got KC hasn't played yet, but KC minus 7.5 over the Dolphins. It's tough to say because KC plays down in those spots. Dolphins.
I have the Dolphins basically. Yeah. No, I have them as league average. So is Kansas City 7.5 points better than league average?
Pretty much.
Probably.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
That would be a really good road favorites aren't great for this, but decent teaser leg. No total on that one yet because KC.
I thought you meant this would be a good teaser leg. I was like, you're going to tease the Chargers against the Falcons? No,
that's not even the next one. I'm on the Colts. Colts 3-point favorites, road favorite over the Raiders. That seems aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I don't think that's right.
Raiders straight up.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my bet. Once the money lines come out,
Costanzo's probably not going to be back.
I don't think so. This total should be like 52.
Cleveland Farrell had a couple of moments today. In fact, the Raiders defense forced a bunch of Jets turnovers. They just stopped playing in the fourth quarter because they were tired, I guess. They can do a little damage in this game. I think they can. Phillip Rivers he's still not he's not good enough to be a field goal favorite on the road against the
playoff
offense. Team. No way. Against a good offense. They're out of the playoffs if they start today though. The Colts are in. They're out.
It's in the hunt.
That's your 7-8. Interesting. That's this is basically a play-in game for the playoffs.
In week 13.
That's cool though. Week 14. We're in the final quarter of the season, man.
These are good games.
Colts Raiders is basically a play-in game. It's a play-in game. And the 8-5 Colts are 3-point favorites to the Raiders. I don't get that. The Raiders didn't lose anyone notably to injury today that I saw. I didn't watch all of the game, but I watched a lot of it. I think the Raiders on the money line. The Raiders on the money line is the look. Okay. All right. I like that one. Would you even use a free play on an Atlanta Chargers game?
No, don't bet that game.
Don't bet that game. Okay.
That's off the board for me. I'm not seeing a side or total on that. So we'll just skip.
I got -2.5. I got -2.5, 49. It's like you're making a joke. Okay.
It's like when you tell the book to block off the casino part, just block up block out Falcons and Chargers for me.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Road chalk.
We need a banner.
I think we got more road chalk, man. New Orleans.
Saints or the Eagles. Again, kind of leery on that because who knows who plays quarterback for either team.
Breeze versus Jalen Hurts is my guess.
And in that case, I'd have to think about taking the points or laying those points.
Laying them, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd be laying.
Okay.
That's a rough spot.
We got a home favorite finally. San Francisco favored at home against Washington football team by 4.5. No opinion there yet. early feel for Pittsburgh Buffalo, or you want to see Buffalo? You want to see both of these teams play?
I want to see the teams play.
Yes, but as your numbers exist right this moment, before these two teams play on Monday against different opponents, what would you make this number?
Buffalo or Pittsburgh minus 2.5.
Okay.
It's pretty close to market.
Okay. Interesting. What's your Pittsburgh number, by the way? Like 5.5 against an average?
5.7.
5.7. Okay.
You're just trying to reverse engineer all my shit now.
Exactly. Of course.
The stuff that I post.
Oh yeah, of course.
I haven't shared mine in a while. I need to do some updating here after tonight. That pretty much takes us. So what did we bet? I guess.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I'm going to bet the Raiders to win, just straight up. I bet the Arizona Cardinals minus 2.5, and I bet Pittsburgh tomorrow. I added a play for this week late.
Edit it live. Do it live. All right. Well, good job. Enjoyed this game. Hopefully the Broncos keep this competitive, and we will talk to you at halftime. Should I hit the music?
Check it out, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you at halftime.